Greetings, Gothamites, Kwing here, and today we are talking about Nightwing number 50. Ugh. I don't know why you guys want to hear about this so badly, but here we are. So Nightwing number 50. Where do I begin? Well, of course, this will be spoilers if you haven't read the book, though don't read it. It's not very good. Also, it does some ramifications that are going to screw up Nightwing's life for the next who knows how long. It's... Dan Dido is at it again, and, my gosh. So, the book isn't... Okay, the book's not very good. I'm gonna let you know. Nightwing number 50, if you've been enjoying the Nightwing run up until this point, yeah, awesome. The stuff with Batgirl and Nightwing, starting with the Dark Web, I would go back and read, like, the Nightwing issue 40 up until issue 50. There's a lot of really cool stuff that happens. This book is just going to really tick off the audience, and it's, like, kind of twisting the knife in Nightwing's fan sides again, going back to the events of Forever Evil, except I probably hate this change even more than I did him becoming Secret Agent, because at least he still retained his personality and all this other stuff, but we'll get to that, okay? So in order to lay the groundwork about what's happening, you have to read the awesome Nightwing Batman team-ups from Batman, I believe it is 54 through 55. And this takes place after the Batman and Catwoman breakup, or like being left at the altar by Selina. I don't know if they've officially broken up or not, but usually when you leave a guy at the altar, it doesn't really go very well after that, you know what I mean? So the son of Batman comes in to try to help smooth things over and bring back the dynamic duo, because Tim is kind of AWOL. He's not in Sanctuary, he's with his girlfriend Spoiler, which it's a good thing he isn't in Sanctuary, but we'll talk about Heroes in Crisis later. I really don't want to. I don't want to talk about what they did to... Oh, it's so hard not to talk about it. Why, DC? Why did you kill DC Rebirth and go back to the new 52? I hate you. Anyway, so... Nightwing and Batman do some really cool stuff. It's a great team-up book. If you haven't read Batman issue 54, I challenge you to. Tom King shows that he really understands the character of Nightwing. It's an amazing book, and it also paints the illustration for who the big bad is going to be for the next probably 5 issues of Batman, KG Beast, who comes back from Russia, and he's here to mess with the Batman in ways that he has never done before. So he comes to America, and he's planning on doing something really diabolical. And you don't know what that is until Batman issue 55. And up until the very last panel, it's a great book. It really is. I wish we would have gotten more team-ups between Nightwing and Batman in Rebirth, because their relationship is mended after the events of Forever Evil, which is still canon. And, you know, Dick Grayson is filled in the Batsuit for time to time for the Dark Knight in DC Rebirth, especially when he had jury duty and some other things. And I love that Commissioner Gordon can always tell when it's Nightwing as Batman. He's like, so the real Batman isn't around today. We get you, second stringer. And Dick's just like, yeah, and he's like, you don't have to do the voice, son. I know it's you. And he's like, oh. So, I mean, Tom King, when he's at his A game, he can write, and write really, really well. But for Batman 55, the end of it, and into Batman 56, let's just talk about Batman 56. So, Batman 54 through 55, very centered around the relationship between Nightwing and Batman, father and son, crime fighters. And then issue 56 completely drops Nightwing from the equation. You don't know if he's alive, you don't know if he's dead. They just, like, focus the entire book on KGB Beast and his father. Which, I mean, okay, if you want to go that route, fine. But, I mean, a lot of people were upset because DC's like, oh, if you want to find out what happens to Nightwing after the events of Batman 55, you have to read Nightwing 50 that will change Dick Grayson, with, you know, quotation marks, forever. So, if you don't know what happens, at the end of Batman 55, spoilers, again, but, I mean, it's kind of important to talk about this, Nightwing gets shot in the head. Rather than dying, he lives, but his personality is gone. as is his relationship with Barbara Gordon. He just throws his old life completely away and goes back to Bloodhaven, becomes a drunkard. He's very lewd with women. He has this weird buzz haircut, but in his defense, to operate on him, they had to shave his head, so he's got like this weird kind of bald chia pet hair thing with this massive scar where he was shot. And Barbara Gordon is trying to be the good girlfriend, and she's kind of like following him around for support, and they don't tell you how many months it's been after Nightwing was shot. They don't really go into like how far ahead the events are into this book, because I don't believe Nightwing has showed up in Doomsday Clock yet, which is the big Jeff Johns thing. So people are kind of worried, like, where's Nightwing? I'm pretty sure he's been in the hospital for a really long time. He mentions when he got shot, he lost some bone, he lost some brain tissue, and he lost a lot of his memories. Well, his memories are there, but they're kind of muddled. Also, he kind of knows Bab is, but he doesn't know her name's Babs. He knows that he has a special connection to her, but when he comes out and asks her, like, are you my girlfriend or something? She's like, we're just friends. It's like, Babs, you had one job, and you screwed it up right there. One job! Ugh! So frustrating. We don't even know if Starfire is going to swoop in and help him out, but over the course of the story, we get some background into more of Robin's first year as a superhero, and he tangled with the Scarecrow, which was a really cool backstory. And it also showed kind of like how Robin, during his first year, like since the New 52 continuity, he's been trying to limit himself to some of the more fear tactics that Batman uses. Like, he believes that you don't have to do it all the time. So Scarecrow is actually probably going to play a very big role in the Nightwing books going forward with the next episode called Muscle Memory. But I don't know if he's going to be Nightwing in the book. At the very end of the book, Dick Grayson is walking around his Nightwing cave in the sewers of Bloodhaven that has all the suits from both Pre-52, the New 52, and DC Rebirth on display. And he decides to cleanse everything with a fire, and he destroys all his Nightwing gear. And they end the episode with, find out next month what happens in Nightwing Muscle Memory. So Nightwing is going to get some of his skills back over time through just muscle memory. And I don't know if he's going to have a Nightwing costume or if he's just going to run around as this something Grayson guy. He's going to use a lot of different aliases while he's recovering. He's going to go with Rick Grayson. He's going to go with Richard. He's going to go with John. He's going to use so many different names for a while. Part of this might have to do with one of the key Nightwing writers was let go from DC shortly after turning in. I believe it was issue 48 or 49, so they really didn't know where to go with what was happening with Nightwing, and this is what they came up with. Personally, they live in a fictional world where superheroes can probably be healed from bullets pretty easily. So I don't see this being a permanent thing with Nightwing like this. I mean, DC knows that there's a huge fan base, even if Dan Dido wants to ignore it. So I don't see this being a permanent thing. I don't like how they're pushing Babs to the side, as she's been like a huge point of the books for both Nightwing and Batgirl team-ups. And she relied on him a lot when she was losing the ability to walk again and things like that. And we don't even know if Nightwing is going to show up in her books, or if her books are going to be in the same continuity as Nightwing 50 now, or if we're, because one continuity is ahead, one's in the past. So I mean, it's kind of confusing what's going on, you know? It's just like, I don't know. And the Batman books aren't really going to mention Nightwing at all, as Batman is going to face KG Beast in number 57, which is either at the end of this month. I don't know if Batman is bi-monthly still, or if it's every month. But Nightwing is every month now, so he'll have to wait until November to find out what muscle memory will be. But I'm going to call it right now that Scarecrow is going to be a big factor in the Nightwing books going forward for probably the next, like, 5 issues, which will be a good thing. I mean, if they can get past, like, this weird... I don't like Rick Grayson. Even in his mind, it seems like he still knows how to be... Dick Grayson. He's just putting on this thing like where he doesn't want his family to help him out. He wants to be left alone. I think he really should rely on Babs, because, I mean, when I got into a near-fatal car accident, I leaned more heavily on my girlfriend, Amber, at the time than I did when we were dating, and that led to us getting engaged and all kinds of stuff. I kind of put my childish antics aside and, like, really let somebody in. So, at the same time, I really believe that if they're going to go forward with their relationship, that Dick needs to make the proper steps, because Barbara is really hurt right now. She's going through some stuff on her own, and he's not there for support, and she's trying to support him, and he's pushing her away. His whole point of view about this is, I got shot in the head, I'm not the same person anymore, stop messing with me. I don't really like that. How this book comes across to me is just, I don't know, it's an attention-grabbing book. I don't know if it's going to do really well. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be a permanent thing. I think they're going to be dealing with the death of 2 Titans that happened in Sanctuary Heroes in Crisis. That's going to involve Dick Grayson, and his memory will come back, and then he's going to be shattered. So it's going to be kind of upsetting, but anyway, you know, that's pretty much my thoughts on all of this. You guys wanted to know about the Nightwing 50. I read it. Didn't like it. I don't like that he destroyed all his Nightwing suits. I don't like how he treated Barbara. I don't like the things he's been up to. The dialogue is showing 2 different versions of Dick Grayson. Like, if he doesn't have any memories about who he is, then how does he remember the Scarecrow stuff in vivid detail? You know? How does he know who Batman is? How does he know who Barbara is? I don't like how he's putting on this facade. It's more annoying than when he was a secret agent. But in the comments section below, tell me what you thought about Nightwing 50. And feel free to open the floodgates of discussion. I've got a live stream later today at 5 o'clock for more Assassin's Creed if you guys want to hang out with that. And I hope you guys have a good one. Also, don't mind the Nightwing B-roll footage from Arkham Knight. I just had to use what I could, because if I show comic book stuff, this video is going to get demonetized faster than you can throw a wingding. So, God bless and happy gaming. Thanks for watching, Gothamites. And have a good one. See you guys later on the stream.